welcome to our first video. My goal is to keep this under 12 minutes. It might last a little longer than our other videos because there's a couple other things we have to do, and it's just our first time doing this. So you will need your composition notebook. It'll also help if you have a ruler handy and at least a pencil or pen. Some colored pencils will be nice too. So if you need to grab those, go ahead and pause the video now and go ahead and grab those. The first page of your notebook should just be your name. Any other information you want to include, we'll write some passwords in here later. The second page, we're going to go ahead and start making our table of contents. This is where this ruler comes in. I'm just going to follow the lines here for some of them, but you're going to put table of contents at the top. Draw a line across your second line. I should have used a ruler. Go ahead and grab your ruler. Go along this red line if you have it. If not, just give yourself a little bit of room to write the page numbers. That's where that's going to go. And then you might be able to see the other red on the other side. You're going to draw another column down from that line. So you should have 3 columns. The first one, you're going to put page, then topic, then date. Should look like this. Once you do that, for page, you're going to put 1 and 2, 1, 2, 1 to 2, and add and subtract decimals is our first topic. So that will go where it's topic, and the date, August 22nd. Perfect. So you'll have that in your table of contents. Remember, we left 4 pages blank for the table of contents if we set it up. If you didn't set it up in class with me, just know now that's what we're doing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your numbering should start here. If you didn't get to number your pages, just go ahead and put 1 and 2 for now. You can number as you go. All right, so on the top of page 2, the right-hand side, you're going to put add and subtract decimals. I'm going to use a different color. You don't have to do this, but add and subtract decimals goes with skill 1. So I want you to write that out. Skill 1 is I can add, subtract, multiply, and divide decimals. This is going to be a review for a lot of us, but it's an important skill to have. So just be sure you're following along, writing these down as we go through them. All right, so the problem we are going to do is going to be 48 and 9/10 minus 3.07. So the first thing we need to do, I'm going to write all the steps, then we're going to go through the steps. So first thing you always want to do with these is line up decimals vertically. Leave some space off to the right because we're going to actually do the problem off to the side. So first thing we want to do is line up decimals vertically. The second thing that we'll do is we'll add zeros in blank spots. The third step, we're just going to add and subtract normally. So we're going to add or subtract from right to left. Fourth step is to bring decimals straight down, or bring decimal, there's only one, not plural. Bring decimal straight down. And then our fifth step, which is a very important one, is to estimate by rounding to see if our answer makes sense. If at any time you need to pause the video to write something, that's fine. So we should have these 5 steps written down. So now let's try it with our problem. So first we want to line up the decimals vertically. So 48 and 9/10 minus 3 and 7/100. See how my decimals right here, they are right on top of one another. My numbers aren't, but the decimals are. That's the important part when we add and subtract decimals. I have some blank spots, so that's our next step. Step 2 is to add zeros wherever there's a blank, so there will always be numbers aligned with each other. And now we're just going to add or subtract from right to left. So starting with 0 minus 7, we can't do that, so we're going to borrow. Borrow the 8, the 0 will become a 10. 10 minus 7 gives us 3. 8 minus 0, 8. 8 minus 3, and 4 minus 0. So we added, then we're just going to bring the decimal straight down. So the decimals here, just following along, keep going down, goes right below. Now, one of our most important steps, estimate, or a step we just don't want to forget really, estimate by rounding to see if our answer makes sense. So if we look at this, we estimate this, 48 and 9/10, we have a 9 after the decimal, it's going to round up to 49. 3 and 7/100, we have a 0 after the decimal, it's just going to stay the same and be 3. Remember, 5 or more, you round up 1, that's why we went to 49. If it's less than 5, the number just stays the same, the whole number to the left of the decimal. 49 minus 3, we get 46, which is pretty close to the answer we got here. So our answer makes sense, but this is our final answer. Let's go ahead and try a word problem. Then I'm going to have you try some problems on your own, and then that'll be it. So our word problem that I want us to try. Theo bought, so you can see me writing it, Theo bought these items. He bought shoes for $19.99. He bought socks for $4.19. He bought a t-shirt for $8.50 and pants for $27.75. Two things we want to do. We want to estimate his total cost. Remember, we estimate by rounding. So there should be no decimals in our estimate. So estimate his total cost. I'm going to underline estimate. Then after that, find the actual total cost. If you need to do some work off to the left, that's okay. I should have enough room. I'm not going to write a number per line. I'm going to make them a little smaller. If you need to do that off to the side, that's fine. Go ahead and pause this video, take a minute to actually try this estimate, and then find the actual answer. So you should have 2 answers. Let's go ahead and check our answer, estimate together. So if we're estimating $19.99, there's a 9 after the decimal. We're going to make this go up to 20. Socks, $4.19, a 1 after the decimal. So it's just going to stay the same and be 4. $8.50, 5 makes it go up, so it'll go to 9. Pants, $27.75. It'll go up to 28 because of the 7 after the decimal. And it asks for the total cost. Total should be our keyword that tells us that we need to add. So adding these, we get 21, carry the 2, 2 plus 2 plus 2 gives us 6. So our estimate is $61. Now to find our actual total, I'm going to use a different color so it stands out more. We're just going to add all these up, line up the decimals. and then just add normally. 9 plus 9 plus 5, we're going to get 23. With the 3, carry the 2. 9 plus 1 is 10. 12, 17, 24. 8 plus 2 gives us 10, plus 9, 19, 23. We end up getting 30. Carry the 3. And then adding the last one, so we get 6. One thing I skipped when we did this is I did not add the zeros in the blank spots. If you need to here, don't forget to add those zeros, so you know you're adding zeros when you do 3 plus 1 plus 2. Those are just zeros. So you keep everything lined up. Bring down the decimal. So he actually spent $60.43. That's close to our estimate, so we did good. Go ahead and go over to the side to page 1, and I want you to try some problems. So we're going to put you try. The 3 problems I want you to do. 9 8/100 plus 14 6/10. 11 5/100 plus 14 6/10 plus 46. 36 8/10 minus 36 55/100. Just as a reminder, if we ever have a whole number, there's no decimal in this number, you can just always add a decimal at the very end to the right of all the numbers. So we're just going to make this 46 with a decimal. Go ahead and try these. Let's check our work together. So we want to line up the decimals vertically. My decimals are lined up. We're adding. I'm going to add zeros in our blank spots, and then just add 8, 6, 13, 23, and 68/100 because we have to bring down our decimal. We're going to just estimate to see if we did this right. If you're going through this and you got a different answer, write the correct way off to the side. If you got the same answer as me, then you don't have to write it again. If we estimate, this will round to 9 plus 15 because of the 6 will make it go up. That estimates to 24, which is pretty close to our answer, so it makes sense. Trying the next one, same thing, line up our decimals. Remember our 46, the decimal just goes after. All of our decimals are in a straight line. We're adding, and we're going to add zeros to the blank spots. Oh, I lined up my 11 kind of poorly. Should look like that, 11, 1 and 1. Now when we add 5, 6, 11, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bring the decimal straight down. Again, rounding, we get 11 plus 15 plus 46. Adding all that, we get 72. I didn't show my work for that addition, but you could add vertically and get 72 when you add vertically. So it's pretty close to our answer, so it makes sense. Last one, again, line up the decimals vertically. Add your 0 placeholder. And then we can't do 0 minus 5, so we're going to borrow 7. That'll become 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 2, 0, 0. Bring down the decimal. So we get 25/100. When we check it, what's going to happen is this will round up to 37. This will also round up to 37. 37 minus 37 gives us 0, which is pretty close to this. So I'd say our answer makes sense. We did good. It's just a little bit more than 0, 25/100, or you can think of it as 25 cents. That helps you think of it. But that's it. Thank you, and see you tomorrow.